How's it going, Teak Nation? My name is Victor Casanova. I'm the expansion coordinator for Talk App Epsilon, coming at you solo this time. I definitely hope everyone's doing okay, staying indoors, staying safe, making the best of the current situation. It's been quite some time since we've been allowed to freely roam the outside world, but hopefully sooner than later, we can return back to normal and return back to classes and, get to see each other a little bit more. I just wanted to drop some knowledge on a couple of recruitment skills that I've picked up on the job and have been exposed to from various seminars and online resources that I've come across. So a couple of things that I want to talk about is how to deliver high value on your group. How to evaluate your guys' selves and make sure that you guys are being honest with each other, and what are your goals for your future. What kind of tactics and skills do we do to grow our names list? What can we do to make that go from 100 guys that we talk to 200, 300? The more guys you talk to, the better. And those are just some of the ideas that we are going to talk about today, but let's get right into it. So for the first one is definitely how to provide that value piece. That's going to be really important for our members to be able to get them into our doors. What kind of things do we need to show them and be better at to make sure that this is a good fit for them and a good spot for them to put themselves into. Especially the students of today, they value their time and their money. So how are they going to react to what we're selling and what kind of group that we are? So it's really about the return on the investment, right? They're going to invest their time and their money. So how are we going to make good on that return? What are we going to provide them, whether that be better time management skills, professional skills, and with being able to set them up for some professional success when they graduate. How can we make good on the alumni connections that we have told them about from the very beginning. So it's really important for us to make sure that we are understanding that this is not just a 4 or 5 year experience. This is a for life experience. It's about the mission, right? To aid men in their mental and moral and social development for life. How are we going to make good on those promises to be able to set them up to be successful professionally, personally in their lives during and after graduation? What is it that makes people want to join our groups? How did you get recruited into this group? Make it personal. Go back to your very beginning of your candidate process. What made you excited to join this group, and how can you share that to the other guys who are excited to join your group? How are you going to get them to join your organization on your campus and make sure that they are going to be able to have the best experience possible? And it really takes having those conversations of internally and saying, hey, what kind of group are we? You have to evaluate your guys' selves to be able to get to where you want to be. And it's just being really honest with yourselves. And what are we not good at? What are we good at? Whether it's having a very, very long meeting, or just, breaking it down little by little every time. But if you don't have those honest discussions with your guys' selves, I definitely think you guys are setting yourselves up for not so great results, right? If you're putting out a mediocre product, you're going to get some mediocre results. We definitely want you guys to be able to succeed in your recruitment and in everything that you do. So having those internal discussions with your guys' selves is going to be really, really important. What is your brand? What is your vision? What can you do to make sure that those things align, so that when you go and get out and reach out to more members, they see the work that you've put in, and they see the change that they can see themselves having in your group? What is it that is going to excite them, and what is it that you have already discussed and talked about, and make sure that those conversations get had. What are you selling, right? So like talking about the brand and the vision, what is it that makes you unique? What is it that makes you better on your campus? What is it that makes you the A1 group, or what is going to get you to be the A1 group on your campus? If you're thinking small minded, you've already set yourself up for failure. Think bigger, think better. Everything that we do has to have a purpose, and everything that we do can have a purpose. It's really about to get ourselves to where we want to be, and really having those honest conversations with ourselves, and making sure that we understand that this is where we are now, but this is where we want to be in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, right? With our new members, we have to have those discussions on, where do you see this group going? how can you contribute to make sure that this gets to where you want it to go? If you're from a college group, do you want a charter before you graduate? Do you want this group to be successful for whenever you do graduate, you get to come back to the homecomings, to the events, to the alumni outings, making sure that we're setting ourselves up to be that group that has those experiences and has those relationships with our members. It's definitely going to take a lot of evaluation, and it's definitely going to take a lot of conversations. So making sure to understand that this is not an easy thing to do, but it's something that needs to get done so that we can see where we fall short and what we're good at, and just capitalizing on those things. The next topic is building your names list, right? We definitely want to be able to meet more than 100 people on campus, especially if you come from a small campus or a big campus. There's always opportunity for you guys to be able to reach out to as many people as possible, whether that be online or in your guys's classrooms. Being able to do that is going to make you super successful because you have more people to choose from. What kind of guys are in our personal pipelines? Who do we go to the gym with? Who do we study with? Who do we go and eat lunch with? Who is in our dorms, right? If you're a new member, you have a unique opportunity to get guys who are not affiliated just yet, and have them join this organization. Going back to what I said previously, what got you to be interested in your group on campus and say, hey, I want to share this experience with as many people as possible. That's obviously the goal, and that we want to have, is to be able to share this experience with as many people as possible, so that they can also share it to their friends, and have their families invested as well. Go around your current and potential new members and say, hey, who do you know? Who is in your phone right now? Whose Snapchat do you have, that we can reach out to, and be able to share this experience with them? What is it that's going to take for me to get you to reach out to them and say, hey man, I'm doing I'm taking this opportunity for myself, and I definitely think you would be a great fit to be doing this with me. Would you be interested in doing that? I definitely think it's about having that conversation. So, most members are joining an organization is because they were simply asked the question, right? If you don't ask, you don't know. So what is it going to take for you to make that ask, and being able to be comfortable with having those conversations with those guys is very, very important. How do we grow that names list, right? It's about having an idea of reaching out to your sororities, and building that pipeline with them, and building those relationships with them. It's really going to them and saying, hey, this is the group that we want to be. This is the guys we're looking for. Building that perfect, or that best 3 to 5 minute presentation. Having those discussions and saying, this is our plan. This is how we're going to execute it, and then going out and doing it. How are you going to do that with your best guys, and make sure that we are setting ourselves up for success in that aspect? Going there and putting out the best presentation you guys can, and making sure that they understand that these are your goals and how they can help you. It's gonna be a 2-for-1. You guys set yourselves up for some social interactions with them, and you'll be able to have those new members, and the guys that they recommend have those connections already, so they'll want to do the mixers, the swaps, the organizations of on campus. So how are you going to set yourself up to be able to be successful in that aspect there, and being able to get some new members out of it as well. So like I said, it's a 2-for-1. I don't know if a lot of organizations do it on your campus, but it can be you. It can be yours to be able to do. It makes you unique. It makes you the next best group on your campus. So think about doing things like that to be able to build your names list. Another thing to throw your way is starting a scholarship fund, right? Being able to ask for alumni support, or putting it in your budget and saying, hey, we want to start a $100 scholarship or a $200 scholarship, just to help offset costs for the students on this organization. Being able to attend a university is definitely not cheap, but anything to help them lower their costs is definitely going to be something that they're going to appreciate. So structuring how you want to make those acts of hey, this is something that we would like you to be a part of, and all you got to do is text a brother, or send your resume to this email and posting it on any group sites, or websites, or any groups that are on those websites, and say, hey, we're looking for members to apply to our scholarship. If you think you're a good fit, go ahead and apply. And you'll be able to see the resumes, and you'll be able to see the skills and the attributes that make this potential new member the guy that he is. So where's he from, and what does he want to do in his college experience, having those connections with them, so that when they become a great fit for your organization, you make that you have that conversation, you make that ask and say, hey, you're a great guy. We definitely think you would be a great fit. Here's here's a scholarship, but here's also another opportunity for you to take full advantage of. What is it that is going to make him feel a little bit more comfortable to join your organization? If you just make that ask without having to that personal connection first, I definitely think it's going to go wrong. But if you guys have the connection, if you know a little bit more about him with these scholarships, you'll be able to know uh, what makes this guy the person he is, and what kind of things he's looking for. So those are just some of the ideas that will definitely help you guys build that names list. Being able to kind of just have those connections with them, and having those connections with your guys' current members. I definitely think you guys are setting yourselves up for success. One last thing that I would love to touch on is how do you handle rejection, right? No one likes to be told no when they're recruiting a certain person, but it happens, right? Not everyone is going to want to join your organization, but it's how you react to being told no that makes you successful. Do you throw in the towel and pack up, and hit the road, or do you get back up and do you keep looking for the next guys who are going to be your yeses? Where can you find those wins? If you're a big sports guy, it's really about having the mentality of never giving up, and having that Mamba mentality. So going out there and keep looking for those next guys who are going to be the best guys to have in your group, in your organization. What is it going to take for you to overcome that hump, and make sure that you are continuing to have those conversations with that one guy who maybe told you no? Say, what are you looking for? What can we provide you? What kind of experience can we have here that is going to make you feel a little bit more comfortable to say, hey, maybe I've changed my mind. Let's give it a try. But if not, making sure to have a conversation with him and say, hey, this might not be for you, but we're looking for guys who are looking for something like this. Do you know any? Making sure to have those conversations with him and say, hey, what kind of guys do you know? Who can we reach out to? And it'll help us get to where we want to be. So don't feel afraid to make that ask, and don't feel afraid to be told no, because the second you get over it, it's going to make you successful, and it's going to help you get to where you want to be in your organization. So think about that whenever you're going out for your next recruitment event. And it doesn't matter if you've been told no, or if you're if you're not finding guys. It's really just about keep going at it, and continuing to share the experience with as many people as possible. So everything that we talked about today, it's obviously not all the answers, it's not all the ideas that we have, but we just want to make sure to provide you guys with some key details and some key ideas that are going to make you guys be successful and can grow your group. So feel free to drop some recommendations below in the comments, or feel free to shoot me an email at vcasanova@tke.org. I definitely think there's opportunity for me to help you one-on-one, or to jump in on your next Zoom session. More than happy to do so. So feel free to reach out, and I'll be able to provide you guys with some more ideas and bring some more value pieces to you guys. So yeah, feel free to reach out. So until then, Teak Nation, thanks for tuning in.